This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Whether your business has 6 floors or 6 employees, Walmart Business has everything you need to save time, money, and hassle. You can restock your break room with bulk ordering or bulk up your ordering team with shared payments. And you can get it all delivered straight to your business's door, whether that's on Wall Street or Main Street. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
There is no hood like parenthood. Hi, I'm Kanika Chadda Gupta. I'm a former CNN journalist, mom of 3, including twins, and host of That's Total Mom Sense, the podcast. Now, if I had $1 every time I heard, gee, you have your hands full. On my show, I interview change makers on their life lessons, legacy, and superpower of intuition, which I call our Mom Sense and Dad Sense. I've had the privilege of working with Mom 2.0, March of Dimes, and the White House, and have had some pretty amazing parents on my show.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kelly Rowland.
Hi, this is Chelsea Clinton.
It's me, Bobby Brown. Can't wait to share my story.
That's Total Mom Sense is a production of the Evergreen Podcast Network. Be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and on YouTube so you never miss an episode. To join my tribe, visit that'stotalmomsense.com and follow me on Instagram at Kanika Chadda Gupta. Now let's dive into today's episode. We all know the adage, it takes a village to raise a child. And in fact, I remember reading the book by that name by Hillary Rodham Clinton, former First Lady and our 67th U.S. Secretary of State. And this was way back when my mom and I went to Borders to pick up the book. And I have to say, at that time, as an elementary schooler, I had no idea what having a village meant outside of the ones that I would visit when I went to India. But now, as a mom of 3 who had caregiving in the beginning of my kids' lives, and now that I'm riding solo, I realize how fractured society is and expecting every nuclear family to operate in a vacuum without the village. It's just not tenable. Today's guest will help us regain some hope and rebuild the village that we all need as parents. Alex Spitz is the founder and CEO of New Mom School, a national postpartum education and support platform with over 22 locations across 16 cities in the U.S. She is a certified parent educator, certified infant care specialist, certified happiest baby educator, and positive discipline and parent educator, and a mom of 2. Drawing from both professional expertise and her lived experience, Alex founded the New Mom School to rebuild the village modern families need, starting from the 4th trimester onwards. And she's done this to really foster education, connection, and community. Alex, welcome to That's Total Mom Sense.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
You are so welcome. So tell us a bit about your background and your family heritage, because that's your first foray into what parenting and having kids and having this village is all about.
I really love that you asked that question. My family is from Middle Eastern descent. My mom was born and raised in Alexandria, Egypt, and named me Alexandra after her hometown. And I think when I was young, I took it for granted. My mom's village was her parents, her sisters, their husbands, and their children. And we got together for every holiday, and that was just normal for me. Then when I became a mom and I no longer had that for myself because now my family was spread out across the country. I know we're going to get into it, but it was isolating. I didn't have what my mom and her sisters had when they had babies.
Yeah, absolutely. We need that tribe, and it's really hard to just create one in the US particularly. So when you started this business idea of yours, it was out of your own need. Can you take us back to that moment, that eureka moment you had?
So, my oldest son is 15, my younger one is 12. When I was pregnant with my first, I didn't think my life was going to change. I really felt like I was put on this earth to be a mom, that I was going to dress him up in cute clothes and baby Nikes, and he was going to be my little man around town, and we were going to do all the things together. I was a very active person. He was going to run all my errands with me, he was going to be my little accessory. And I know you're all laughing out there because when he was actually born, the reality is so vastly different than the expectation. And it really threw me off. I just kind of assumed that that same support that I was getting during pregnancy was going to follow me after I got home with my baby. You just never think that it's not going to be there. You hear the term, it takes a village. You just kind of assume that that village is going to show up knocking on your door. And they don't. And the nurse is wheeling me out of the hospital. And, now I look back and I think, God, those nurses are kind of wheeling the moms out, going, good luck with that. Like they know that it's going to be so hard, but they can't do anything for us. Our system is not set up for it. It's not their fault. It's really nobody's fault. And so it really just felt like, what am I supposed to do? I'm so lonely. I'm so isolated. The most surprising thing to me was actually how my relationship shifted with my husband. We had always had this really adoring relationship where we could talk about anything, and our household ran so smoothly with the two of us. And then Jack was born, and we were keeping score. We were, who changed the most diapers? Who did the most today? He went to work. I'm supposed to be happy and well rested and taking care of the house with a dinner, put on the table. And we both were very much missing each other because there was this lack of, is this normal? We must be doing something very wrong since this isn't working for us. And I felt a lot of shame, a lot of guilt. You hear that well intentioned advice, enjoy every moment, it goes so fast. And you want to just punch that person that says that
Yeah.
because all you can think about is getting through the day. The days are so long. And then the years are so short. I love that saying. It really is the truest saying in motherhood. So I was really struggling, and my mom said to me, you need to find a mom group. Now, a little history. I was the one in middle school where all of my girlfriends stopped talking to me in sixth grade, and it was extremely traumatic. I actually had no idea how much it affected me going into motherhood. As soon as she said, you need to join a mom group, all I could think about was a group of women. And it threw me back to that age of 12. And I said, oh God, but that group of women is actually dangerous for me personally. And my nervous system was triggered right away. And my mom said, don't worry about that. No one's going to know each other. It's all a clean slate. You're all going through the same thing at the same time. And I did. I actually had one near me. I want to give a shout out. I was living in Sherman Oaks, California at the time, and I joined a mom group at a Mother's Haven. And those women, there were 12 of us. I couldn't have written this in the stars. It was the perfect place. And the room was kind of dingy. It was in their old location. There was a sheet on the floor in the middle of the room. And our class facilitator was so sweet. She had one 13-year-old son, so she really was out of the baby stage. This was in 2011, where it was just the beginning of the mom blog era. There was no
Hmm.
Instagram, there was no TikTok, there was Facebook, but it was not what it is today. And when you went online, you could actually get good information. And our facilitator just really couldn't answer our questions. I'm sort of an information junkie. So I went down a rabbit hole, and during this group, it was the highlight of my week. And we spent 4 days a week together with these women. It was exactly opposite from middle school. I should just say
Yeah.
that because I know that there's this view of mom groups as though it's judgmental and
Right.
catty and
Clicky.
clicky and judgy. And I'm so against that. I am the opposite of that. I don't put myself in any scenarios that's like that. That just makes us feel gross. And
Right.
so this group was so life giving and life changing and life saving. And it took the pressure off of me relying on my partner, which is
Mm.
a very, very critical topic that we need to be talking about more and working with.
Yes.
But bottom line, we're just not equipped. That support that you're expecting to be there is not there. And we're not doing it right. We're doing it wrong, which is why it's hard. It's actually not supposed to be hard. We're in this
Yes.
crisis in our country where it's really hard. It's not supposed to be hard. It's actually supposed to be joyful. You are supposed to enjoy
Mm-hmm.
more of the moments. You are supposed to be able to see family and friends and take a shower every day. Like you're supposed to be able to do those things.
Right.
So that's a long-winded answer as to how I got where I am. And there was a moment in one of my classes where we're sitting in the room and I just had this forward vision that my whole body said, this is the most incredible format and feels so supported and wonderful. And I can do it better than this because I had learned all this information and I had gone online and I had found that there was so much research. And I got angry that why did this not get deployed to me as a new mom? Why is this not getting deployed to new moms? And my group started coming to me for answers because they knew that I was researching. And it's not typical for people to research. So I just had this vision that it was this same format, but with actual research, with actual education.
Yes. Oh, that's brilliant. I completely relate to what you're sharing. And I think,
Mhm.
even on your website, you mentioned how 80% of new moms face some sort of postpartum depression or
Mhm.
anxiety or baby blues. And
Mhm.
there's another, study that I came across about how a newborn baby's ability to thrive is profoundly dependent on the state of the mother. Her
Yes.
own happiness and contentment really just kind of determines
Mhm.
how the baby's going to be. I do
You're
feel like,
exactly right.
yeah, when we're anxious, they're anxious. When we're stressed and have to be somewhere, they're going to cry louder. That's just how it goes. So,
That's exactly
the fact,
right. And we're not taught
yeah,
that.
yes, yes. We always, hear from the hospital onwards that like, let's talk about the baby and, the baby's milestones and all of that. When, at the end of the day, it's like, if mom isn't supported, everything is going to fall to shit.
That's right.
So
I say that the
yes,
mom is the nucleus of the family. And
yes,
when mom is, it all starts with mom. That's something
yes,
that we
100%.
miss in this country. Hmm.
Yes. So, how did New Mom School come to be from that first, location and cohort onwards?
Yeah. So the universe works in the most beautiful ways. It's just so good, you know? About a year and a half after Jack was born, my husband was relocated to Orange County, California, which is about an hour south of where we were living. Now, by that point, me and the women from my mom group really had become the village together. I mean, we were getting together often and our partners were friends and our kids were growing up together. And I really felt sort of the best I had felt in a women's setting. You know, being in a setting with groups of women can be very intimidating, especially after what I had gone through. And so it really healed that part of me that solidified the need for sisterhood. There is nothing that a man or a romantic partner can give us that a group of women can give us in the same way. That deep understanding of what we're going through. So we were relocated to Orange County. I had left my job that I had been at for 12 years. I was in the law field. I was working for a lawyer for 12 years as his director of operations. So I had really learned how to run a business from the back end. And I had always felt like there was a fire in me to do something, to solve a problem, to make things better. I kind of have this uncanny ability to be in a situation and think how it can be elevated, how it can be even better, land even better. And that really comes from my own need of, I have high expectations. I really do. And I would go to these mom things or mom classes, and I would leave feeling disappointed because I had had questions about wherever my baby's development was that, the sweet girls at the gym were so cute and they loved to blow bubbles and they loved to, play with the toddlers, but they didn't know how to answer my questions about development or behavior or discipline. And I just, after getting to Orange County and being part of a number of different mommy and me classes, I just remember thinking, I can do this in a better way. So I had originally set
Mm,
out to do something for moms of toddlers that where I was in my motherhood journey. And then I realized that there were no actual programs for moms with babies. And I just said, that's it. I'm doing it. I'm creating what I wished I would have had. I didn't have the real education. I had to go and find that on my own. And most people are not going to do that. So I wanted to set out to create something where I would do that for them. I would curate what they needed to know. And I worked with professionals. I wanted a space where moms could have that one-on-one FaceTime with experts in their field. It's not a one size fits all after a
yeah.
baby, as we know. And that 6 week postpartum appointment, it's like it gives you the green light to work out and have sex. Two things that were so far off my radar of what I was ready
Totally.
to do. I'm like, don't tell me I could go work out and have sex. I haven't even slept,
Yes. Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
word it's so wrong how we're doing it.
Right.
So I wanted a place where women had the full body and mind and brain. We're so complex, we're so dynamic, and we need touch points everywhere. And that's what I did. I found an office space, and over the years, it's evolved. We're in our 13th year now in Orange County,
Congratulations.
California. And in 2024, we started franchising.
That is incredible. Oh my gosh, and
Yes, thank
it's so
you.
needed. Yeah, we need to see it in every state, in every major city. It's almost like this hive that's attracting all of us,
Mhm.
which is wonderful. Tell us what we're going to feel when we walk in, and is it classes? Because it is a school in a way, and I love that it's like it's a school for moms.
It is. It's a school for moms. I named it exactly what it is. I kind of have a thing with business names that
Hmm.
the name should say what it does. So I first started out as OC Mommy and Me, and it really grew into something so much more than that. So it became New Mom School during my journey, and it really fits it. It really feels like you walk in, and what I set out to create is something that when you walk in, it's like feeling the sun on your face and a warm hug at the same time. When you're pregnant and you people are, oh, you're glowing, that glow really should continue postpartum. And that's
Right.
what we do. We glow together. When we're together, we shine brighter. We really create that inner ability to shine and to feel confident. The most overwhelming feeling as a new mom is that we constantly feel like we're failing, that we're not getting it right.
Hmm.
And that thought creeps into our mind so many times a day, we lose count. We need to change that mindset. We need to reframe it. We're doing it wrong. We're
Right.
doing it wrong. It's just, we're just not set up for success here. We're not supported here.
So when you walk in, is there like a therapist or a psychologist who like leads circles? Like how, give us a breakdown.
So there's a group instructor that has been trained extensively through our training program through corporate. The instructors then host throughout the series. It's an 8 week series for each age group. So you start when your baby's 3 to 5 weeks old. The reason we start there is because that's typically where breastfeeding support falls off through the hospital systems. And if you look at the statistics, most mothers will let go of breastfeeding at the 3-week postpartum mark. So we wanted to step in and be that place where they could continue to come, not specifically for breastfeeding. But we offer free breastfeeding support because not all moms want to or can breastfeed. So, New Mom School, you don't have to be breastfeeding to come to New Mom School. It is for every mom. I want to clarify this is not for the mom that is struggling or that has been diagnosed with a postpartum anxiety challenge disorder. There's no official diagnosis. The official diagnosis is that you've had a baby and you need community support and education that is
Yes.
backed by research. So,
Yes.
throughout the 8-week series, you have in person experts from your local community coming in to
Ooh.
present on the topics that we have found to be the most critical based on where you are in your journey. So there's the newborn series, and then what we call the infant series, which is for 3 to 6 month olds. And then there's our rising toddler, which is for 6 to 12 months old. So we're supporting you through the entire first year postpartum with other women who are in the exact same phase as of motherhood as you. The newborn class is a very, very tight range of dates. So most of the moms are going to be within days and weeks of your baby. It's all based on your birth
Mm-hmm.
month. Every class typically has babies born on the exact same day. I had
Oh.
one class that I had 5 babies born on July 5th. I don't know what there was about
Oh
July
my
5th.
gosh. My birthday
And
is the
that
4th.
class,
So I love that there was a lot of Cancer
uh,
energy in the room.
there's a lot
That's
of Cancer
great.
energy in July. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how it's led. And it's all
Mm-hmm.
very structured. I didn't love the mom activities that had no structure. It
Right.
felt very overwhelming to have to meet moms or know which moms you're going to connect with. It's very anxiety provoking. It's
Yes.
often the first time a mom comes out of her house by herself, and many moms are still getting driven by a partner, by a family member to come to class. It's often the first time the mom is doing the stroller by herself, the car seat by herself. So we provide this very safe space where everyone else is in the exact same phase. So you're not having, it's not performative. It's come as you are. It's come if you haven't brushed your teeth, come if you haven't changed your underwear. This is where you come when you have your baby. It is designed
Oh my gosh.
for the postpartum mom. Mhm.
That, yes, that is on its own such a solve because I feel like the only time that I got away was like to do a quick Target run. And I felt like, well, now I'm in civilization again. I am
Mhm.
walking out of my cave because I mean, I had twins and then I had my third all in 18 months. So
Oof.
it was, yeah, I lived under a rock for a very long time, I feel. And like it was just those,
Mhm.
but you're not getting the connection. And
Mm-mm.
so
Mm-mm.
that's amazing. I love how it's like, come in your pajamas if you have to and just like meet people who are in the exact same boat. That's brilliant. With the babies, is there a place that they can get care on site or is it like come on your own, leave baby at home?
Oh no, it's with baby. It's
Oh
that
my God, even
beautiful.
better.
Oh, yes, you can't leave your
Yes,
baby
yes,
alone for that
exactly,
long.
exactly,
No,
exactly.
no,
Especially if
no.
you need to if you do need to nurse, then you can just pop out the boob and do it in the circle, I guess, right?
That's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
right. So
awesome.
we actually intentionally don't have changing tables in our studios because you're not going to have changing tables everywhere you go as a new mom. You're going to have to learn how to change a diaper on the floor in your
Yep.
lap somewhere where there isn't a changing table. So we are very intentional in how we set up our studios so that everyone stays in the circle and it really enforces the bond. They don't realize it yet, but their energy is being exchanged with the person next to them. And the babies, even though we think they're kind of these little blobs, they're very much absorbing what is around them. So the babies that are in our classes that grow up together, and the babies in my mom group are the same way. 15 years later, there is a comfort with the other children, even as toddlers. The play dates that we had with our mom group kids were different than the play dates we had with our preschool kids. The preschool kids, there was fighting, no sharing, mine, tantrums. The play dates with the toddlers from my mom group, there was none of that. It was fascinating to watch. I wish I could do some research around this. Maybe that's our future, but it's an energy exchange. We don't know anything about the moms except their baby's birth date when they come
Right.
in the room. So it's
Right.
this beautiful neutral space. And I want to really talk about that because we don't touch any of the controversial topics. That's not what we're there
Yes.
for. We're
Yeah.
there for common ground. So you don't know what the mom's background is next to you. You don't know how she votes. You don't know what her childhood was like. You don't know what her religious affiliation is. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
what her beliefs are when it comes to parenting, what her philosophy is going to be, or what she thinks it's going to be, I should say. So
Yes.
it's this beautiful, clean slate where all we're doing is connecting on our shared experiences and what we're going through
Mm-hmm.
right now and being in the trenches together.
Wow, that's beautiful. I really, really love that. What are some of the key takeaways you have for moms who are in this fourth trimester and are just like, I don't even know where to begin, and I'm just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to figure it out?
That's actually great advice. Just put one foot in front of the other. So, really just focus on the now. Really try and soften your inner voice to yourself. You are not failing, you are becoming, you're learning. Motherhood, parenthood, I should say in general, is the most important job because you're raising the next generation of humans. And it's the most important job with zero training. And new mom school really is training. It's that training you get when you start a new job or go through college. If you think about the amount of education that we get in our lives leading up to having a baby, and then the ridiculous prenatal classes that are available, it doesn't prepare you. You need the education once the baby is here. You need to be able to have a space to ask questions that isn't going down the rabbit hole on social media or ChatGPT. It'll give you information, but it doesn't give you the community and the real research that you need to know that you really are where you're meant to be. Those days are long for a reason. All you're meant to be doing is just getting to know your baby's cues. That's the only job you have in the fourth trimester. Make space for grace. Say that to yourself. Make space for grace for myself. Give yourself more compassion that you're figuring this out in a society that does not set you up for success. It actually sets you up for failure.
Yes. Yes. Are you working with insurance companies? Because this needs to be part of every new mom's healthcare plan. It's like, okay, you just
Please.
had a baby. You need to go to new mom school for you and your newborn, and that's going to set you up. Like that
You're
needs to
exactly
be
right.
enacted. Yeah. Are Is that
Doctors
happening?
love us. It's
Okay.
not yet. Um,
It
I
needs
am
to.
putting it out there for anyone that has the ability or knowledge around how we do get this covered by insurance and how we get this
Hmm.
added to some of the other benefits that are offered through corporations. Corporations should be paying for this for their mothers. It really helps them get back to themselves and be more efficient as employees.
Yes, 100%. The franchise model has taken off though. So tell us about that and the fact that you guys are in many different cities.
Yes.
And you have even Meta and Google, executives who have bought their own franchises and taken it forward because they see the importance of it.
We do. We have really incredible, they're called franchisees. They're really our partners in this that are very much committed to the movement to make this standard of care. It is gold standard, but I can't even say it's gold standard because it's not standard. The doctors love us because they wish they had the resources to be able to support their patients postpartum. But when you think about it, OBs are trained in pregnancy. They're not trained in postpartum. And pediatricians are there for the babies. They're not there for the moms as much as they wish they could be. So there is a huge gap in care. And that's what New Mom School fills. We fill that care gap. We solve that problem for that, as you said, that very crucial time in a newborn's life. Those first 4 months determine so much in their later life, how they relate to people, how they do in school. They're less likely to use drugs and alcohol when mom is healthy in the postpartum period. Things you don't even think of at that point that are so important. So in terms of health insurance, I don't know how that's going to look, but that is a huge need that we need to bring some other players in to make this happen.
Yes, yes. And then for those who want to become a franchisee, share the cities that you're in already and how they can do it.
We have territories available. We're in 16 different states at the moment and multiple locations within a few states, mostly in California, since that's where we started and we have more brand awareness here. In terms of other states, our locations page on the website will tell you where we are. But within those states, there are many territories available. I would love to see this nationally and internationally at some point. Other cultures do it really well. Other cultures see the importance of caring for the mom, whereas the US historically has been set up to care for the man, puts research dollars towards men. And we're at such a great place right now. There's so many passionate women and organizations that are really investing in research around women's health and women's care. And I say women because mom is sort of a title we hold, but physiologically, biologically, we're women and we are made up a certain way and have certain very clear needs.
Yes.
Men and women are biologically different. In terms of, being equal, of course, we can do the same things, but we don't feel the same way. We're actually
Right.
very complementary to each other. So we
Yes.
do this thing where we compete with each other, but actually we can be so powerful if we actually saw each other's strengths and put scaffolding around our challenges. My husband and I joke that together we are one complete brain, because I have the ADHD, yes, officially diagnosed ADHD and, other things in the neurodivergent category. And he does too, but our ADHDs are so different that together we become very, very powerful. So
Right.
I want our culture to see that more, to show how important it is that both genders are supported in their quest, right? In their
Yes.
quest for what we need as humans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, how empowering is it to shift our thinking and embrace our divine feminine? Like you said, there's definitely this complementary yin and yang here. And whether it's polarizing or not, this is my humble opinion, but we should just embrace that. As an example, I did an interview with Erica Commissar. She is a psychoanalyst and she is amazing. I loved her book Being There, and it's why prioritizing motherhood in the first 3 months matters. And then there's another book she's come out with called The Parent's Guide to Divorce. So what parents can do to, again, help their kids thrive and feel supported through a phase like that. But Erica mentions how, she just kind of reiterates how we're biologically predisposed to build bonds as women. It's what we do. So when there were hunters and gatherers, the men would go hunt and the women would build these bonds. But that's how society is built, though. That's how civilization can run, because then it's every man for himself. So the women are so integral in this. She juxtaposes this with an example with lions. So it's the lioness who actually kind of takes care of the pride. And she is also, tending to the lion cubs. All the lionesses do that together. And she said that how, when lionesses are doing that, kind of taking care of the pride and the community, they're also the ones who go out and hunt in that case. It's the male lions who, in the middle of the night, their keen sense of hearing can hear a rustling in the trees. And so they are meant to know if there's any, sign of attack. And so, like in animals, we can tell that it's like everyone is meant to kind of serve a different purpose and lean into that. Like, the male lion's not going to be like licking the cub and, come,
or
just join us.
breastfeeding or
Right.
yes.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
mean, if
That's
you
just not
just
his
look at,
role. It's okay.
like, just take it back to the most simple. A woman's body creates the milk that her baby needs to survive and stay alive.
Right.
That in of itself is just the most basic need of human life. You have to eat, right?
Yeah.
And I want to talk about formula for a second, because breastfeeding is probably 100% of moms, when I teach classes, will say that one of the most surprising things to them was figuring out breastfeeding or how to feed
Yeah.
their baby.
Yes.
Formula is it is a gift to our society, because we're not set up to breastfeed successfully the way that we want to. And many times our milk dries up because of the stress, because of the
Hmm.
overwhelm, because of the other things that are not being taken care of by this village and community that's supposed to show up for you. To
Right.
your point, we're hardwired to be in community. When you think about having a baby and you're the one that is doing the research, the mom, the dad's not doing the research. They're out there. And yet, when the baby comes, we're relying on them for emotional support. We're relying on them to know what to do. They don't know what to do, they know less than we know. So it's this huge mismatch of energies and knowledge. I love that analogy of the lion and the lioness. We have to lean into it. When women wanted to go into the workforce, we didn't have the conversation with our partners to say, these are all the things that I take care of at home. How are these things going to be handled now that I'm not going to be home? And I think
Hmm.
that's where we hurt ourselves, is by, it's like in a job, if you don't teach someone else to do what you're doing, you can never move up. You can never be
Right.
promoted.
Right.
It was that at home too. We
Yes. Men weren't
never
taught that.
we never organized who was going to take over our duties at home. So we sort
Yes.
of put it on ourselves by saying, I also want to be in the workplace, but our household has to be cared for as well. This is the unfolding of that, where we are now.
Hmm.
This crisis that we're in now is because we haven't assigned roles to the tasks that need to happen in a family, and also be able to be entrepreneurial or workers or make money and support our families.
Yes, yes. And you mentioned about, the partnership at the top of the interview. What have you learned as you and your partner kind of work together as a team and a unit to be the guides for your kids and with parenting? I think there's something so important in that. For me, my husband was like, I'm here with you, and I want to take ownership of such and such tasks, but I'm not your therapist. So if you want to vent, and if you want to like just bitch about how hard it is or whatever, like I don't have the capacity because I'm a problem solver. So that's why I leaned on the community for that. And I think that's where, we should be very mindful of like where the partner comes in, where what their strengths are, and don't make them be something that they aren't.
So the fact that he had that awareness to say that is something that most men aren't able to. It's not their fault. We're just not teaching awareness. We're not
Yeah.
teaching self awareness. It should really happen starting from, I don't even know how early, birth, right?
Right.
Um, right when they can start doing things for themselves. So, one of my biggest practices that I have moms do, I call it the list. Essentially, what you do is you take out a piece of paper. I really like it handwritten for whatever reason. There's an emotion that comes with it. And the emotion that comes with it is the important part of the practice. You physically write down everything that you are responsible for in your life, in your home, in your life. And when you start writing things that I call it bringing it home. Like you can't bring it home. Your brain just can't wrap itself around it. For me, it was going to the grocery store. For
Mhm.
whatever reason, having to go to the grocery store put me in meltdown mode. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So you make this list, and as you get to the things that start giving you anxiety, that start triggering you, you put a star next to it. You don't do anything about it. You just create a list. That's your first step in identifying what you need to delegate to someone else or put on the back burner for now, or figure out a different way to do it than the way that is causing you so much of a trigger. So that's what we need to do. We all need to make that list at every point in our lives. We shouldn't be
Mhm.
doing the things that cause us delay. I mean, things should flow. We should be flowing with our day. There's going to be things you don't like to do, but not things that paralyze you. Anything that paralyzes you, it needs to come off your plate yesterday. No new mom should be cleaning her bathrooms. I'm sorry, they just shouldn't. So
Yeah.
if that's not someone that you call in to do it, your partner needs to do that. Your family needs to do that. A friend needs to do that. It's so hard to ask for things. The other list you can make is the things you have to get done. And when someone says to you, how can I help you? Let me know what I can do for you. Just show them the list. These are all the things I have to
You're
do.
right.
Just
Right.
pick something. Just
Yes.
pick something.
Pick up the
Fold
dry
laundry,
cleaning,
go to
give
the
me
store, pick up
food.
the dry cleaning,
Yes.
put the wash in the dryer. Like
Yes.
there's such simple things that relieve so much from a new mom.
Yes. Oh, it's so true. It's so true. And then that way we can kind of solve the what can I do to help question
Yes.
because it's so
Yes.
elusive and then yeah, nobody really knows what to
And
do.
people really do want to help you.
Yes, yes, it's so true. It's so true. Any other tips on what a mom who might not have a new mom school in her city or might not have the access or even funds to outsource?
Sure.
What can she
Absolutely.
do in those early months?
First and foremost, Postpartum Support International is an incredible resource. They have a list of qualified, vetted professionals in cities across the country, actually, internationally, I should say. So that's your first stop. Find professionals in your community that are running support groups, running any type of therapeutic practices. It's free to contact them, it's free resources. The other thing to do to meet people is to go to a park that has a playground and just sit there. Just sit there with your new baby. Moms will approach you. They will ask you how you're doing, if they can help you. That's how you can meet people. You don't have to be nervous about it. Just go sit at a park with your baby in a stroller, even if they can't play yet, obviously. Utilize your OBs and pediatricians. Don't be afraid to call to ask questions. That's what they're there for. The nurses are there for you. And any type of religious organization will typically have some kind of women's group, mom's group. Even if it's not your own organization, there will be another one in your community that will have some kind of something. But just get out of the house. If you haven't been out of the house and your baby is 3 weeks old, at least 3 weeks old, your job for today is putting them in your stroller and walking around the block. That's all you have to do. You just have to get outside by yourself. If you haven't incorporated being outside, going outside at least once a day, that's your homework from me.
That is excellent advice, and the vitamin D is a bonus. So,
It
yes,
is.
yes,
Try not to don't put the pressure on yourself to go do some big thing. Just do small, tiny, the
right,
tiniest
right.
things.
Right. And that's a win. That's excellent. I wanted you to get personal and share a mom sense moment that you've had. And you know what this is. It's basically our built-in sixth sense. It's that intuition. You have a very keen spidey sense. So what was one that just you were so glad looking back that you trusted?
That is such a great question because I've had many. I think that the biggest one was probably when my older son was 2 and he had dropped from the 25th percentile down to the 3rd. And I knew something wasn't right. He wasn't eating the same things that other kids were eating. He wanted chili flakes on all of his food and his pasta. He wanted things that were spicy. And I just and my husband's the guy that's like, he's fine, everyone's fine, everything's okay, don't worry so much. I just knew it. So I took him to our pediatrician who looked in his mouth and he said, his tonsils have gotten really big. Let's go to an ENT. The ENT, his adenoids and tonsils were blocking 90% of his airway, and he couldn't taste anything.
Oh
So
my
the only thing he
goodness.
could taste was spicy.
Oh,
So as a
whoa.
toddler, I thought, oh, he's so, evolved his taste buds. Anyway, it was pretty dangerous. And after that, my husband said, I'll never second guess you when it comes to the kids. And I had really delayed it because I really was trying to be more calm and not alarming. And I did. So advocate for yourself. You know your child best.
That's great advice. Oh, I'm tearing up hearing it. Yes. And you can provide the comfort that they need because they can't articulate it,
Mm-mm. And
wow.
now
Wow,
he's
wow, wow.
15 and he's almost 6 feet tall and he's no longer in the third percentile.
Right. There you
And it was
go.
kind of smooth sailing from then. He started eating normal things again. He didn't want the chili flakes anymore.
Wow. 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 And do you have any advice as a CEO? Because I think, motherhood actually gives you an edge. I want you to just share that with the listeners because they might actually undersell themselves and not think that they have anything to offer now.
Oh, we very much do that. Yes, I still have that news ticker in my brain that says, you're not doing enough, you're behind, you're not good enough, you're unlovable, you're not worthy. I mean, those things kind of stay with you. And I'm 44 and I'm very much in a transitional period as a woman right now. There's different tension in our household with teenagers and puberty and hormones and marriages shift. We go through different ages and stages. So I think that what I would say is to really believe that motherhood hasn't pulled you back, it's propelled you forward. You now have more knowledge about yourself. Use the challenges that you go through as opportunities to identify, kind of use them as a mirror. Don't look at them as like, this is hard, I'm not going to be able to get through it. Look at it as, what can this teach me? What can I learn from this? And how can it make me better for how I move forward? I'm no expert in that. I'm learning that personally alongside you and other women at the same time. So it's just a reminder that we really are on this journey. We really have parallel lives and we're so busy judging each other, but it really comes from a judgment of ourselves. So we have to start by removing that judgment of ourselves. And I'm learning that. I'm in the process myself.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, a weight lifts off when we let that go. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And
It really does.
lastly, where can the audience find you? So many moms who are tuning in are going to want to visit their own new mom school or start their own franchise. And it's such an exciting, necessary movement that you're creating. So where can we find and follow you?
We are New Mom School everywhere, all social media channels, and newmomschool.com is our website to see if we have a location near you. If we don't, and this resonates with you, and this might be something that you see yourself being a leader in your community for and leading this movement, we want to meet you. Like you said earlier, we have the most incredible past executives in all areas. The plethora of women that have joined our franchise system is beyond my wildest dreams. So we're in really good company. And it's so far, we've only been franchising. Our first franchise location opened in 2024 in October. And our franchise owner was our alumni who had driven over an hour every week for 16 weeks to come to our classes. And she said, we need this in my community. So she was our first franchisee. That's where everyone can find us.
That's great. And you've already impacted 17,000 moms around the country.
Yeah.
And this is going to go global. We're manifesting that. It was such an honor to have you on the show today. And I'm thankful for our friendship too, Alex. Congratulations on everything.
Beyond. Can I thank you for doing what you're doing and bringing the underdogs to life, to the surface. We need more of that. I love it. I've helped so many moms over the years become what they strive to be. And that's leaving corporate jobs, that's leaving relationships that are no longer serving them, that's having more children if they're really, but not feeling confident. We need to empower one another. This culture of shaming and judgment and leaving people out, it's over. It's done.
Totally. And it starts with us. That's amazing.
It does. So thank you for doing what you're doing and bringing awareness to programs like this that really can help people. And it's really the one thing I wished I would have had as a new mom. If I could give you one piece of advice as a new mom is find other moms.
Mm-hmm.
Just find them. Just find them.
Yes. Thank you, Alex. I'm glad I found you.
You're welcome. Same. Likewise.
Thanks for listening to this episode of That's Total Mom Sense. You can listen to the audio version wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for That's Total Mom Sense. You can learn more about my guests by logging on to www.thatstotalmomsense.com. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, where I'm most active on social media. My handle is @Kanika Chadda Gupta. And if you have ideas for show topics or guests you can't wait to have on the show, write to me at thatstotalmomsense@gmail.com. And lastly, please rate, review, and subscribe to That's Total Mom Sense if you haven't already. Thanks for being in my tribe.